Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're diving into a single, incredibly powerful belief. It's an idea that might just completely reframe how you see, well, everything your limits, your potential, and reality itself. So, let's jump right in. I want to start with a big question, a real mind bender. What if every single thing you think of as a limitation, every I can't do that, every wall you feel like you're hitting, what if it wasn't a barrier at all? What if it was actually an invitation? An invitation to discover a power you didn't even know you had. Okay, so that leads us perfectly into our first big idea. We all know that feeling, right? Of being boxed in, constrained, stuck inside some kind of cage. But what if that cage was actually beautiful? And what if you were the one who built it? For a very, very good reason. This brings us to a key concept, the container. The idea here is that consciousness, which is infinite, creates these little bounded experiences for itself. Why? So it can focus its attention and really explore one specific piece of its own nature. So think of it less like a prison and more like a playground or a laboratory for self-discovery. And look, this isn't just some abstract, floaty idea. It's happening right now. These are the containers you're in. Your body, that's a container for having a physical experience. Your personality, a container for exploring a specific way of being. Your beliefs, your job, even your relationships. They're all containers we voluntarily step into to learn and grow. And this quote, man, it just hits the nail on the head. A chrysalis looks like the ultimate prison, right? It's hard, it's confining, but we know it's not a prison at all. It's a transformation chamber. It's the essential structure for becoming a butterfly. And that's the whole point of these containers. They aren't meant to trap you forever. They are the very tools of your evolution. They are temporary by design. Okay, so if these limits are voluntary, if we're building the chrysalis ourselves, how do we get out? Or maybe the better question is, how do we transform? Well, that's what this next part is all about. It's about the catalyst, that one single moment of recognition that changes the entire game. This quote is, well, it's everything. Just listen to the wording. It doesn't say the moment you gain a new power. It says the moment you give yourself permission. That implies the power, the infinite possibility. It's been right there the whole time. It's just been waiting for you to give it the green light. It's not about changing what you can do. It's about changing what you're aware of. This right here, this is the whole psychological shift in a nutshell. On the left, you've got limitation as a prison. It feels external, absolute, like you're a victim. But on the right, you see limitation as an instrument. Something you chose, something with a purpose. Suddenly, you're not the victim anymore. You're the author. So the question is, are you trying to escape a prison, or are you learning to play your instrument? So what does this moment of recognition actually look like? It's not some kind of magic trick. It follows a pattern. First, the potential is already there. The structure exists. Then, number two, you grant permission. You just let go of a belief that was holding you back. And when you do that, bam, energy flows where it was blocked before. What was always possible finally happens. And a new reality just crystallizes. It's a natural process, like water turning to ice. All right, let's just pause and take this in. If our limits are voluntary containers, and we can transcend them just by recognizing that fact, well then life stops being this hard problem we have to solve. It becomes a game, an infinite game we can choose to play. And with that comes a whole new understanding of responsibility. But hang on, before you get turned off by the word responsibility, we need to completely redefine it. The old view sees it as this heavy burden, this weight of obligation that leads to blame and guilt. But the new view, it's responsibility. Literally, your ability to respond, your ability to create. It's not a weight you carry, it's the power that you are. It's the ultimate shift from blame to freedom. And this idea, this responsibility, it's not just one thing. It kind of expands outward in layers. It starts at the personal level, where you take full 100% ownership of your own experience. Then it moves to the collective, where you realize every single interaction you have is a co-creation. And then it goes all the way out to the cosmic, the mind-blowing acceptance that you are literally the universe experiencing itself. So, where does this rabbit hole actually go? What does it feel like to really live from this place of total freedom, of complete responsibility? This next part, well, it explores the truly mind-bending implications. You know, we're all taught that growth is like climbing a ladder, right? Step by step, always forward, always up. But this idea, omnidirectional emergence, just shatters that. Imagine a drop of water hitting a still pond. The ripples don't just go forward, they expand in all directions at once. This suggests that a breakthrough you have today can ripple backward and heal your past, and outward to change your future. It just rewrites all the rules. And this might be one of the most important shifts of all. We live in a world that tells us to strive, to hustle, to earn our success. But what if that's all backwards? What if triumph and fulfillment and peace, what if that's your default setting? The goal isn't to struggle to achieve it. The goal is to simply relax and allow it, to stop resisting the current that's already carrying you home. This chart is so simple, but it shows you the physics of how this actually works. Look at the left. Resistance. That's you pushing against a brick wall. It's a ton of effort for almost no change. Now look at the right. Acceptance. That's not giving up. That's opening the door. With almost no effort, you allow reality to be what it is, and suddenly everything can change. Acceptance is the real power move. Okay, let's bring this all the way down to earth, right here, right now. All that pressure we feel, that need to be perfect to get life right, it's all self-imposed. I'm telling you, the universe is not sitting up there with a clipboard keeping score. Because there is no wrong. There's nothing to get wrong. Every path you take, every so-called mistake, every stumble, it's all just experience. It's all valid data for the universe exploring itself. It's all part of the game. And that all leads us to this. This is the absolute heart of it. That deep feeling of being limited, that ache of feeling separate from everyone and everything, that sense of being lost and trying to find your way home, it was all part of the illusion. An illusion you created for the pure joy of this exact moment. The moment you remember who you've always been. So we end right back where we started, with a question. Because this wasn't just about sharing some interesting ideas. This was an activation. You are never limited. You are the author. So, now that you remember that, what's next? What are you going to create?